student, welcome to class 10 chemistry. In this video we are going to learn applications of Avogadro's law. What is Avogadro's law? Equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Okay, so in short we say that equal volume of all the gases, equal number of molecules at similar conditions of temperature and pressure. So the first application is determination of atomicity of a gas. We can calculate atomicity of a gas by applying Avogadro's law. Now before doing anything, let us see what is atomicity, which was done in earlier classes also. Atomicity is what? Number of atoms per molecule of an element. We calculate atomicity for an element. And the gases, elemental gases, okay, like hydrogen, chlorine, nitrogen, these all are, okay. So, the number of atoms per molecule for any element, if we are writing Na, K, so this potassium, the symbol Na, and we always write Na. There is no subscript over there. So this is atom or molecule. What does it mean? It means that there is only one atom per molecule for these mostly metals. Yes. So these are called as monoatomic. Their atomicity is 1. Mono means 1. So monoatomic. Okay. So atomicity is 1. Now, if we are writing H2, N2, Cl2, O2 and so on, here you will find that there are 2 atoms per molecule. So their atomicity is 2. They are called as diatomic. Okay. If I am writing O3, ozone, so there is 3 over here. So it is atomicity is 3. And this is called triatomic. And after this, we call all as polyatomic molecules like P4, 4 atoms per molecule for phosphorus, S8, carbon 60, these all are called as polyatomic. Okay, this is what atomicity. So let us see how to calculate atomicity of a gas by applying Avogadro's law. So the first, let us suppose we want to calculate atomicity of hydrogen or chlorine. Okay, so we will take that example. Experimentally it is found that 1 volume of hydrogen gas combines with 1 volume of chlorine gas and forms 2 volumes of hydrogen chloride gas. We know this equation, H2 plus Cl2 is equal to 2HCl. So let us write down this in words. Hydrogen plus chlorine is equal to hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride. Okay. Now 1 volume of hydrogen combines with 1 volume of chlorine and gives 2 volumes of this. This is experimental truth found experimentally. Now we will apply Avogadro's law to this. They all are at similar conditions of temperature and pressure. So same volume, so same number of molecules. Let us suppose we assume 1 volume of hydrogen contains 1 molecule. Then 1 volume of chlorine will also contain 1 molecule. Okay. And 2 volumes of HCl will contain 2 molecules. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay. Now if I write half molecule, so it will also become half molecule. This is by Avogadro's law. Okay. So this will become 1 molecule. So 1 molecule of HCl has half molecule of hydrogen and half molecule of chlorine. But we cannot write half. And since atom is indivisible, we can write half molecule is equal to 1 atom. So one atom, and here one molecule, since it is a compound, we have to write as molecule. So what does this show? That one molecule of HCl is made up of one atom of hydrogen and one atom of chlorine, that we know, HCl. Yes. So from here we can conclude that half molecule of hydrogen is equal to one atom. Okay. Therefore, one molecule of hydrogen is equal to 2 atoms. That means one molecule of hydrogen has 2 atoms, so it is diatomic, or atomicity is equal to 2. Same thing for chlorine. Half molecule of chlorine is equal to 1 atom. So one molecule of chlorine, 2 atoms. So chlorine is also diatomic with atomicity 2. This is how we can calculate atomicity of a gas by applying Avogadro's law. Second application of Avogadro's law is explaining Gay-Lussac's law. Now what is Gay-Lussac's law? Gases, when combined, they do so in volumes, and there exists a simple ratio between volumes of the combining gases to their gaseous product, provided temperature and pressure conditions are kept constant or same. Okay, so let us see, by taking same example, one volume of hydrogen combines with one volume of chlorine and gives 2 volumes of hydrogen chloride gas. So hydrogen plus chlorine is equal to hydrogen chloride Okay. Now one volume, 2 volumes. This is what? Experimentally. Okay. Now apply Avogadro's law. If one volume of hydrogen contains n molecules, then one volume of chlorine will also contain n molecules, and this will contain 2n molecules. Okay. If n is equal to 1, then it will become 1 molecule. This is 1 molecule. This is 2 molecule. This is by Avogadro's law. Done. Now we know that hydrogen is diatomic, chlorine is diatomic. That means one molecule has 2 atoms. So we can write 2 atoms and 2 molecules, since it is a compound. Simplify it, 1 atom and 1 molecule. Okay. So what does it show? 1 molecule of hydrogen chloride gas has 1 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of chlorine. Okay. According to Avogadro's law, equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. It explains Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Third application of Avogadro's law is determination of relation between GMM and GMV. I have written like this, that is gram molecular mass and gram molecular volume. What is the relation between gram molecular mass and gram molecular volume? Okay, so let us start with gram molecular mass. What is gram molecular mass? Relative molecular mass expressed in grams is called as gram molecular mass. Okay, so this is RMM in grams. Okay, this is also called as a gram molecule. And what is gram molecular volume? The volume occupied by 1 gram molecular mass of a gas at STP is called as gram molecular volume. Okay, so let us apply Avogadro's law to this and see what is the relation between these two. According to Avogadro's law, equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. So let us write in short, equal volumes of all gases, equal number of molecules. Okay, so equal volumes of all the gases, equal number of molecules. So we can write it other way also, that equal number of molecules of any gas under similar conditions of temperature and pressure will occupy equal volume, because equal volume is occupied by equal number of molecules. So equal number of molecules will occupy equal volume. This will be for any gas. Okay, now we know that 1 mole of any gas has 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. That means Avogadro number of molecules. So 1 mole of any gas has, so all the gases, for all the gases, 1 mole of any gas at similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains same number of molecules. So 1 mole of any gas will occupy same volume at STP or similar conditions of temperature and pressure, and this is known as gram molecular volume or molar volume. So what is gram molecular volume again, or this is also called as a molar volume. Okay, that is volume occupied by 1 mole of any gas at STP is gram molecular volume. Okay, and that you all know that is 22.4 decimeter cube or 22,400 centimeter cube. So let us see how can we get that. Now see, what is the density of a gas? Okay, density is what? That mass per unit volume. Density is mass per unit volume. We all know D is equal to M upon V. If we think that this unit volume, let us take this unit volume as 1 decimeter cube. So we can write density of a gas is equal to mass of the gas upon volume. What is the volume assumed as? 1 decimeter cube of gas at STP. Okay, using this we can change this for calculating volume also. D is equal to M upon V, so V is equal to M upon D. Okay, so volume of gas is equal to mass of gas upon density of gas at STP. If we write volume of the gas, gram molecular volume, so GMV of gas will be equal to, so we will write gram molecular mass here, GMM of the gas upon density of the gas at STP. So if you know gram molecular mass of the gas and divide it by density of the gas at STP, you will get gram molecular volume of the gas. Now there is one example in your book. It is given that gram molecular, to calculate density of hydrogen. Okay, So gram molecular mass of hydrogen you have to divide by density. Density is 0.09. So GMV of hydrogen gas is equal to, atomic mass is taken as 1.008, then molecular mass will become 2.016 divided by 0.09. This is grams. This is gram per decimeter cube. So if you solve, it comes 22.4 decimeter cube. This is what GMV of. So that means 1 mole of hydrogen gas will occupy this much volume at STP. Same thing is given for oxygen. So let us calculate for oxygen. Same is given for oxygen. So GMV of oxygen is equal to gram molecular mass 32 grams upon its density 1.429 grams per decimeter cube. Okay. So if you calculate these two, again it comes 22.4 decimeter cube. That means 1 mole of any gas will occupy same volume at STP, that is called as gram molecular volume, which is equal to this value. Fourth application is relation between relative molecular mass, which is also called as molecular weight, and vapor density. Now you all know what is relative molecular mass. The vapor density is a new term over here. Okay. So let us see what is relative molecular mass. You learned two different definitions for relative molecular mass. One with respect to hydrogen and another with respect to 1/12 of an atom of carbon 612. Here we are using hydrogen because we are finding vapor density with respect to hydrogen gas. Okay. So what is relative molecular mass with respect to hydrogen? How many times one molecule of a substance is heavier than one atom of hydrogen taken as unity. Okay. So substance, here we are taking gas or vapor because vapor density will be for that state. So what is the relative molecular mass is equal to mass of one molecule of a substance upon mass of one atom of hydrogen. Okay. This is a ratio. Now vapor density, what is vapor density? Vapor density can be written as V dot D dot. Okay. So vapor density is equal to, is what? This is also a ratio between mass of certain volume of a gas or vapor to mass of same volume of hydrogen at same condition of temperature and pressure. Okay. So what is vapor density? Mass of certain volume of a gas or vapor to mass of same volume of hydrogen at same temperature and pressure. Okay. So these are the two things. Now we have to get relation between this and this. So let us apply Avogadro's law to this formula of vapor density by applying Avogadro's law. What it says, equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Since here same temperature and pressure at same, I am not writing here because of place, and temperature. So if certain volume of a gas, same volume of hydrogen, so this certain volume of a gas contains one molecule, same volume of hydrogen will also contain one molecule. So we can write vapor density is equal to mass of one molecule of a gas or vapor upon mass of 1 molecule of hydrogen. Okay, since the temperature pressure conditions are same. We can also make a slight change over here. This gas vapor is a compound, so we will write it as it is, mass of 1 molecule of a gas vapor. What can we do here? Vapor density is equal to, since it is one molecule has 2 atoms, we will write mass of 2 atoms of hydrogen. Let us take it as 1, this as 2 and this as 3. So now if we compare this 3 and 1, this is for relative molecular mass and this is for vapor density. So to get the relation between relative molecular mass and vapor density, let us divide relative molecular mass with vapor density. That means this entire expression is to be divided by this. Okay. So RMM upon vapor density is equal to this entire thing divided by this, or we can write this entire thing multiplied by reciprocal of this. So let us write that and see what is the relation between relative molecular mass and vapor density. So the next is I will continue with this. This is RMM upon vapor density, okay, is equal to mass of 1 molecule of a gas substance, we are taking as gas vapor, upon mass of 1 atom of hydrogen. This is state for relative molecular mass. You have to divide it by this vapor density. So this will be multiplied by, or you can write this multiplication sign over here even. Then reciprocal. What is the formula, the statement we have written, or formula for vapor density? Mass of 1 molecule of a gas or vapor divided by mass of 2 atoms of hydrogen. So this 2 atoms of hydrogen will go into the numerator. So mass of 2 atoms of hydrogen upon mass of 1 molecule of a gas or vapor. Okay. Now you imagine this and this side by side, then this entire thing will get cancelled by this. Okay. Now here it is 1 atom and this is so this upon this. So what will come? Relative molecular mass upon vapor density is equal to 2. Okay. So that is relative molecular mass is equal, or this is also called as molecular weight, 2 into vapor density. This is the relation between relative molecular mass and vapor density. Relative molecular mass or molecular weight of a substance, gas or vapor, is double of its vapor density, or vapor density is half of relative molecular mass. So this formula and vapor density is equal to mass of 1 molecule of gas or vapor upon mass of certain volume of gas vapor upon mass of same volume of hydrogen formula. These two formulae you have to use in coming up numericals. Okay, so this is what the relation. The last or fifth application of Avogadro's law is determination of molecular formula of a gas. Now let us see what is molecular formula. Molecular formula is a chemical formula that tells number of different elements present in one molecule of the compound. Yes, for example, if I write C6H12O6, it's a chemical formula of glucose. Okay, so this is molecular formula of glucose, which tells that different elements, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, number of different elements present in one molecule of glucose. 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen are present in one molecule of glucose. Okay, so this is what molecular formula. Let us see how can we calculate molecular formula of a gas. Okay, let us take example of synthesis of ammonia. It is experimentally found that 1 volume of nitrogen gas combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen gas and forms 2 volumes of nitrogen. You all know this equation. Many a times while giving example of catalyst, promoter, temperature conditions, pressure conditions, many times we have studied this. Okay, N2 plus 3H2 is equal to 2NH3. So we are not going to write the symbolic equation. We will write word equation. Nitrogen combines with hydrogen and gives ammonia gas. Okay, and what is found experimentally that 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen and gives 2 volumes of ammonia. This is experimental truth or found experimentally. Let us apply Avogadro's law to this. If 1 volume is 1 molecule for nitrogen, so same temperature pressure conditions, so 3 volumes of hydrogen will contain 3 molecules. And here 2 molecules. This is by Avogadro's law. Right, you all know this. We have done many a times, like first and second application. Now we know that for nitrogen and hydrogen they are diatomic, 2 atoms per molecule. So 1 into 2 atoms. Here 3 into 2 atoms. Here we will write 2 molecules. Since N2 and H2 are diatomic. Done. Now write the answer. 2 atoms. Here 6 atoms. And here 2 molecules. Let us simplify this. So it will become 1 atom, 3 atoms by dividing with 2. 1 molecule. Okay, that means what? 1 molecule of ammonia has 1 atom of nitrogen and 3 atoms of hydrogen. So 1 atom of nitrogen and 3 atoms of hydrogen. So the molecular formula of ammonia is NH3. This is how we can calculate molecular formula of gas by applying Avogadro's law. So hope you all have understood all these applications of Avogadro's law. Here most importantly, rather than deriving all these things, you have to remember the formulae which can be applicable in next set of numericals. So thank you children.